most disappointing about how bad Inter Miami were. If you're telling me LAFC, what I thought LAFC was going to be before the season, or what I thought LAFC was maybe going to be last season, wins 1-0 at home against Inter Miami, I'm not shocked. I'm thinking Olivier Giroud's a big part of that, by the way. Obviously not. This is a very, to your point, shaky LAFC. They look the best they've looked, and I think a lot of that has to do with how poor Inter Miami were.
Yeah, look, I mean, Inter Miami has proven that they can win without Messi. Last season, already this season as well, right? Top of the Eastern Division as well. But they can't do it without Messi, Suarez, Jordi Alba, and I could go on and on and on.
I think you got to throw in Luis Suarez. He was frustrating to watch last night.
Luis Suarez. Messi, that might have been his worst game ever. I mean, he lost possession over 20 times. I don't think he's lost possession over 20.
Well, when you're trying to get something going for your team,
no.
But you're going to lose possession. Possession doesn't. But with attacking players like that, possession doesn't matter.
Herc, his passing, I was going to look at. I forgot, but 70-some%. I mean, come on. It never happens to him. He was.
What I would say is,
he might have been trying, and he may look
He's
once.
the only player on his team that would try some. Look at everybody standing.
But he was bad. But he was still bad.
By what we expect of him here, he was off it.
Listen,
you could say that.
Herc, he's going to.
This is where I think he's off of it. This is where I think he doesn't have that snap.
You know where I think he's
Look at the
off
free
of it?
kicks. There's no power there. Forget the position. There's no power. He's clearly still not 100%. And by the way, this happened last year, last CONCACAF Champions Cup.
Look at that map. What it doesn't tell you is that early in the first half, he was dropping back 20, 30 yards from his own goal. That's a desperate. You like the angry Messi?
How many touches in the penalty area?
Not a lot, 2. You like that angry Messi, but what you don't want is a frustrated Messi who's going further and further and further from goal. Because what you see is he can still advance the ball, but then when it gets to the final third, to that last touch, he's kind of out of gas, and there's nobody to get it over the line. And it wasn't going to be Suarez last night.
No, Suarez was terrible last night. And it's also not on him. Like, we spoke about this before the game. People don't realize the travel in Major League Soccer, and people want to discredit Major League Soccer, and that's fine. But going from Miami to Los Angeles on what is almost a transatlantic flight, if you will, at the time, it's like six going on 6+ hours. You can get to from here to London faster. That's a reality. It's not easy on their body. You're going to change 3 time zones. You're going to go play in a difficult setting. It's not the easiest things of the world for these guys who are the other side of 30. He's 37 years old, will be 38 this summer. I can see why he struggled. I think it's more on Javier Mascherano. If you look at this team, they played with the idea of not conceding a goal, of not going out and scoring a goal. And I think that's because of the way this tournament is set up. I really do. I think Javier Mascherano said the most important thing for us today is we don't concede a goal. We cannot concede a goal. And they did.
Are we being overdramatic here? I mean, they're 1-0 down. It's an away first leg. Everything to play for in the second leg. They've got Lionel Messi. Things aren't that bad, maybe.
Yeah, to that point, all of a sudden you turn it around in Miami, and this result, this performance, the non-red card is academic. Lionel Messi's performance is academic. And to Herc's point, I think that's the challenge when you're Leo Messi. When you've had the kind of career, when you are the kind of player that he is, all of a sudden you're just marginally better than the average human being, and it's a crisis because we're so used to Leo Messi being the best thing we've ever seen. But we've kind of known that this Inter Miami team has issues, and while to Janus's point, they've been able to get it done without Lionel Messi. At times, you just can't help but wonder if some of those aging players can do it consistently over the course of a very long season with some of the demands that Major League Soccer puts on every single player. Now, again, because Leo Messi is Leo Messi and continues even at his age to do Leo Messi things, that papers over a lot of the cracks. But when he's anything but his best self, or this version of himself, you see some of the struggles of Inter Miami.
Yeah, and you know, he's given us plenty of fireworks, and he's going to do it, right? I'm just stating a fact that he wasn't good for whatever reason, injury, coming back. But you know, this was an opportunity lost for LAFC. They had their chances. They didn't put Inter away, and I'm almost 100% sure that they're going to be out of it when they go back to Miami. Inter's going to win this. They're going to get through.
Really?
I look at Aaron Long, his header. I look at Timothy Tillman, that shot saved by, I think, Falcone on the line. They were actually playing well, especially in the second half. They had a very, very poor Inter Miami. Forget Messi, as we said, everybody was bad. This was their opportunity to go maybe 2 or 3 up, and that's a different game. Right now, I think it's an opportunity loss, and I'd be shocked if LAFC goes through.
If you'd have told me before the game that LAFC was going to win 1-0, I think a lot of LAFC fans would have seen that as a good result. But to your point, the way, especially the second half played out, like LAFC, you saw it in the highlights, they were much closer to a second or a third. And the big picture point being, you don't get, from an MLS team perspective, many chances to bury Inter Miami.
Yeah.
And LAFC had it.
About the first 20 minutes after the second half started, they were all over Inter Miami.
Yeah.
And my worry for LAFC here is that they've been the worst version of LAFC that I've seen in quite some time. And they put 3 against Columbus at home. And this is the Columbus Crew, a team that you're like, oh, no, Cucho Hernandez, I understand, but still a team that knows how to play. And they go back to Columbus, and they were shaky. They had a 3-goal advantage, and Columbus pulled 2 on them. And it wasn't until the 93rd, 94th minute that Denny Bwanga pulls one back. Until then, you're thinking, they're going to blow this. They're going to blow this. Nothing about this game gave me any good feeling about what they can do. Forget about the Liga MX teams. On that side of the bracket,
right.
On that side of the bracket, if Vancouver comes around, if Pumas comes around, like there was no part of this showing by both teams that made me think, okay, because it's Nathan Ordaz who scores the goal. It's not Oliver Giroud. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like Denny Bwanga was nowhere to be found. This team has all of a sudden regressed to its worst possible form.
Sergio Busquets not available for the second leg. Does that change your optimism for Inter Miami?
No, I mean, he's been steady, of course, right? I mean, he's smart enough to know how to operate in midfield without running. He reads the game very well. So it's a bit of a disappointment. But I just think that cumulatively, I think if you look at, I mean, up until this point, I was looking at Jordi Alba. I kind of made a comment, on social media. I mean, he still looks the part. I mean, this was one of those games. But before that, he's been absolutely, on fire. And Suarez and Messi aren't going to have 2 bad games. So, yes, it's a concern. I think, because in that midfield, I thought Inter looked poor. It seemed to me early on, just even listening to the commentary, that they were doing well because Alba was coming inside and Messi was coming inside. But I thought actually LAFC midfield outplay Inter. So without Busquets, a little bit tougher, but I think Inter still sees it through.
What kind of chance you give LAFC?
Not much, and not as a criticism of LAFC here. I just don't think Inter Miami are going to be this bad twice in a row. I just don't think that Leo Messi is going to be as sub-Leo Messi standard twice in a row as he was on the night.
The only chance LAFC has here is taking advantage of the away goal. The away goal rule changes everything here, and if they can score, it's going to put a lot of doubt into Inter Miami, a team that doesn't do well without the ball, to go chase the ball. That's going to be an interesting factor here.
All right, so pretty much I'm getting Inter Miami's going to go through.
I would still take Inter Miami.
Really?
I know your bookie already has that one bookmarked.
Well, I don't know any
What's the
bookies.
Primo have?
I don't know. The Primo had a lot on Inter Miami last night, so the Primo's walking around on some felt today. It was not a good night for the old betting cousin. All right, let's move along now to the rest of the quarterfinal action. Oh, no, let's show you some of the stars from last night. Because there was a ton of them there for Messi. Of course, David Beckham's at all of his games. This is at Becky G.
Becky
Am I
G.
supposed to know who these people are?
Yeah.
Lots of
That's
Hollywood
Kylie Jenner and
stars.
Becky G.
Oh,
Kylie
Kylie Jenner. I've heard that. Jimmy Buckets.
Butler.
I know him.
Shaka going what?
The Golden State Warriors. Were they playing the Lakers?
They were. Chuck Liddell, of course, you know.
Oh wow,
Chuck
yeah,
Liddell.
UFC, right? The big fighter guy.
UFC champion. Look
And
at that.
Steph Curry. I heard he got booed in the stadium.
He did.
Is
He
that right?
booed back. He booed back.
Okay, that's fun. I mean, from an MLS perspective, this is kind of the dream, Shaka.
You know what? Oh, sorry. Scaloni was also there. Lionel Scaloni was.
Oh wow, you think he was
National team.
making sure Messi's still
Matthew
up for it?
Stafford. Yeah.
What do you think that conversation's about?
Jaime Camil. I know you know Jaime Camil.
Yes,
All right.
famous actor.
Famous Mexican actor.
Who's the dude next to Curry there?
I'm just taking their word for it.
Yeah, you take our word.
Yeah, that jacket looks like. Oh,
Lionel Richie!
there we go.
I know Lionel Richie.
There we go.
All right.
Spanning all generations here
I
on
was there too. They called
okay.
everyone called Leo and Lionel.
Football Americas.
All right.
Wow,
I'll take
look,
your
and
word
they had
for
a
it.
good time too.
Yeah.
And as they say in local news, at the end of the reel, and a good time was had by all. Very cool. Oh, Matt Stafford.
Oh,
Okay.
him already?
Okay.
Hookah.
Okay.
Vegas kid.
Oh,
Who's that?
That's your boy?
Yeah, he Vegas kid. He plays for the Rams now. Receiver.
All right, so there they were, the stars out in Hollywood to see Messi and see him lose, a rarity against MLS competition.